So I think sometimes if you have that like accountability and you have the steps to take and you have something to follow, that's where your confidence is going to start to stem from. Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we're dedicated to helping product-based business owners turn into revenue-generating, successful, happy product bosses. I'm Jacqueline Snyder.
And I'm Mina Kunosita. Together through digital courses, coaching, and masterminds, we've helped over 50,000 students from startup to multi-million-dollar businesses scale their sales while blending in their dream life.
It gets lonely out there in the product business world. We fully believe a business shouldn't be built alone. There's room at the top for all of us.
So let's get scrappy and creative together, Product Boss, to be profitable, make more sales, and grow your visibility.
Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey there, friend. Can you believe that the summer is already starting to wind down? It always feels like summer is never long enough, right? And that's exactly why it's so important to make the most of the remaining summer days we have left. Now, as a product boss, you're probably wondering about the best way to do that, especially as we're about to head into our busiest season yet. Now, the answer lies in embracing AI. The latest research reveals that marketers have been able to cut their work time on manual admin tasks in half with the help of AI. I know, wow, mind blown. So if you're a product-based business owner wearing all the hats and constantly feeling like there's never enough time in the day, imagine what having your time on those marketing tasks could actually mean for you and your business. That's why HubSpot has integrated AI tools directly into their CRM platform, which features things like ChatSpot and Content Assistant. With a straightforward chat-based command, you can summarize research, create copy, and pull reports in seconds. This means you can spend more of your precious time on things like making your products and shipping and serving your customers. It's time to start working smarter, not harder, Product Boss. Learn more and get started at HubSpot.com. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. And we are the Product Boss, where we teach you all about how to create the right systems in your business to keep more money in your pocket, how to get more visibility and eyeballs for people to know that your business actually exists, and how to make more sales. Because guess what? When you make more sales, you make more money. So let's dive in.
So today we're going to kind of talk about, I don't know how to phrase it, maybe mindset.
Should we just say it? What's stopping your success?
Yeah.
Where we're going to talk about like, what do we see? Why do we see people inevitably fail, sabotage themselves? Mm-hmm. They're not successful businesses. They have a business for 10 years, but they've never reached whatever. Yeah. They've invested in themselves and they've paid and they've joined courses, or they've gotten coaches, or they're paying all the people and listening to all the podcasts, but they have not yet hit that success point. Right. And I think sometimes it comes down to the person.
It comes down
mindset,
to
the belief,
the talk that they say to themselves.
Yes.
You know, and so sometimes people call it limiting beliefs. Sometimes people call it mindset, but it really is like at the core, what you want and desire and believe that can happen.
Yeah. And so when we talk about what's stopping your success, ultimately, typically it's ourselves. Like we are the greatest. We are the reason why we're not successful. And I'm not saying that in a way of like you suck, or like, you're not good enough, or none of that. It's really, truly our beliefs and our beliefs in ourselves, belief. Mm-hmm. How do you say that?
Beliefs. It's beliefs.
Our beliefs in ourselves that are the thing that's like, because our mind is our best asset and the strongest thing. And if we don't believe it's possible, we are going to do the things that are going to sabotage our possibilities.
Yeah, I truly believe that our thoughts are a reality. A lot of times, your mind, even physiologically, like even scientifically proven, that your mind will try to close the gap between your thoughts and what will actually happen. So, you talked about self-sabotage. There's a reason there's self-sabotage, because you think it will happen. And then it's like you're...
So it's the thing about like the future, right? Where you're not making a future the reality because you don't believe it's possible. So I think, a lot of times it comes down to something of like if you don't believe that you're ever going to have a business that's worth anything, because you're like, I'm not good at business. I'm not a business person. So I'm not good at business. So this business is never going to do well. Even if that's just a quiet thought in your brain is going to prove to you all the reasons why you were correct about that, right?
Mhm.
But if you were more, if you said, you know what, I'm going to learn about business as I go, and I'm going to take action when I get new ways of thinking, and I'm going to take action. I'm just going to keep moving forward and take steps because my success is inevitable. Then your brain is going to be like, yeah, your success is inevitable. What do we need to do? What's going to be next? What are we going to do? So like, I think the thing is like your thoughts are the thing that might be keeping you stuck. And it's the thing that's stopping your success. And so you're probably thinking like, okay, well, okay, yeah, I've got a thought that I have. That's the thing that's stopping me from growing. So what do I do next, ladies?
Yeah, you have to take action.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the clarity comes from action. But, a lot of times you have to motivate yourself. So one of the things that I used to have above my desk when I was first starting out in my business was I can do hard things. I can do hard things because it felt so hard.
Yeah.
And so even saying that repetitiveness to myself, it was like reminding myself I can do hard things, that I was a strong person, that I didn't have to be motivated all the time and I could still do it.
Yeah. I had a bracelet that said, what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? So for me, it was like the same idea. It's like, what would I actually do because I guess my fear was I was afraid of failing. Right. So I think the thing is so we had prompts. Now, I think the other side of this, of your success, is it's really hard to believe in yourself when you don't necessarily have the steps or the accountability or a community supporting you.
You feel ill-equipped.
Yeah. Or if you're alone, like, and we don't have friends that sell products. Like we have a community. That's why we created this community, but we don't have friends that are like, yeah, I'm selling my stuff as well. Right. And so without that community, without having people around you that believe in the same thing that you're doing, it's really hard to stay on track. And I think also without having the steps to take or that knowledge that makes you feel a bit more confident in your steps that you're taking, then that's also the reason why you're going to doubt yourself. Well, I don't know if this is wrong. Well, what if I do this and it fails? What happens? So I think sometimes if you have that like accountability and you have the steps to take and you have something to follow, that's where your confidence is going to start to stem from.
Yeah, because a lot of times you won't get that confidence from yourself, right? It comes from action. It comes from other people. It comes from encouragement. And it's hard to be like, I just simply believe in myself.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times if somebody else is believing you, or you see somebody else believing in themselves because they have the support, or there's community in that encouragement, it's so much easier to be confident when there's people by your side.
Yeah. And you might be thinking, I just need the right tools to figure this out. That's why you're listening to a podcast about product-based businesses, right?
Yeah.
Like you were literally here listening because you're like, oh, if I learn something new, maybe they'll give me an action step. Maybe there's a tool. Maybe there's something I haven't thought of yet that's going to help me grow my business. And so you're already here thinking forward and thinking about like what's next. And so it might be a tool. It might be a program. It might be a pathway. It might be something that you haven't even thought about yet. But the thing is you do have to, they say like you have to be a few steps ahead. Well, no, how am I trying to do this? Like, when I started my business, I was 26. You were young too when you started your business. I don't know that either of us would have been like, we're fantastic business owners. We just we had a little bit more belief in ourselves. We had an idea.
More so I cannot go work for somebody else.
It's like, I will do this. It's a work for someone. But like the thing is like we had enough belief in ourselves, or someone around us might have believed in us as well, or maybe not. Did you have support? Did you feel like you had support when you went out on your own?
No, I mean, I hid it from everybody.
Were you
I didn't tell my parents. Yeah, I was married. So I did have that. Actually, my husband was very much a safety net. So, I believed it too because I had his support in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I also was making money. And, at that time I was freelancing. So I knew I only had to get a certain number of clients, And so for when I started Little Labels, and I knew I had to sell a certain number of products,
Yeah.
But it was scary, right? Yeah. It always is scary, no matter what you do. Because it's like, oh, are people going to buy it? I need to invest in this. And so I think that, me believing in it, and also when something went wrong, remember the first run, I had the wrong adhesive. Yeah. And to think that I had to make that decision again, that hard decision of reinvesting when I made that big mistake and I had already lost money before I even got started.
Yeah. So you had a spouse. I had my mom who was like, yeah, go out on your own, try it. What's the worst that can happen? Right. So I think sometimes, hopefully, you have a person in your life that believes in you.
Yeah.
That is there to kind of back you up and be like, yeah, try it, go for it. If you don't have that, then you want to either you have your own self-confidence, or you want to find someone, right? You come to us, we believe in you. We believe in each and every one of you. We don't need to know who you are to believe that you can start a business and grow a business and make money from a business you come up with. We're proof all day, every day.
I mean, you are definitely the average of the 5 people you hang out with.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting the support from your spouse, and not everybody has that supportive spouse,
or friends or family or anyone around you.
Right. You go out and find the community that makes you feel like, oh, these are my people.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey friend, I'm just going to interrupt this episode really quickly because it's podcast recommendation time. Okay, so this month we are really enjoying the Hustle Daily Show. It's hosted by Zachary Crockett, Jacob Cohen, Robert Litters, and Julie Bennett, which is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. The Hustle Daily Show brings you a daily dose of offbeat and informative takes on the most recent interesting business and tech stories. One of my favorite things about the show is how on top of the stories they are, because they make sure that their episodes are always released and relevant to what's currently happening in the world. So one of their most recent episodes is all about the writer's strike, which is happening in Hollywood. And it's actually affecting my family because if you don't know it, my husband is an actor and now his union as the actors are striking and the writer's strike. And they're really talking about what AI has to do with those strikes. And let me tell you, it is so informative because as business owners, I think it's so crucial for us to understand what's happening in the world outside of our own market to see how it can play into our businesses as well. Because while AI is amazing, there are a lot of cons for writers and actors. And this episode is really interesting and they dig in and they'll give you their take on it. So I can't wait for you to dive into that episode. Listen to the Hustle Daily Show wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, product boss. We all know that building a product-based business isn't easy, is it? But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be so hard.
In fact, when you have the right systems and support in place, you can skyrocket your sales and finally create the product business that fits your life and lifestyle. That's why we're so excited to announce that Multi-Stream Machine is officially open for enrollment for a limited time.
We've taken our 20 years of experience in building product-based businesses, including our own, which have generated millions, and created a completely turnkey system to help you scale your business and create the revenue you've dreamed of.
If you're a product-based business owner who's ready to build a sustainable and thriving business that can support itself and pay you the salary you dream of,
or get more customers to easily find you and buy from you without spinning your wheels while stuck on social media and spending money on paid ads.
have a clear roadmap that shows you exactly how to create a plan and sell more so you can stop guessing and start knowing.
Then you're going to want to head to multistreammachine.com and check it out.
You can go through the course at your own pace. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, and our thousands of alumni can tell you there's no other course for product-based businesses like it.
So friends, we'll see you in there. So I think that's my question to each of you is like, what's stopping your success? And if you know the point in your mind of the thought you're having that's stopping your growth, stopping your success, stopping whatever it is that you know is the next step. Like, is it a fear? Is it a mindset thing? Are you worried about money? Are you worried about your abilities? Like, what are you worried about? So first, identify what it is. And then to yourself say, okay, I need support. I need somebody who believes in me more than I believe in myself right now in this moment. And find, I think, that person, whether it's someone close to you. And if it's not, a community, a coach, a program, find a place that it's like other people working towards the same place or the same way that you're going.
Other entrepreneurs, I think. Because the thing is, nobody gets it, the ups and downs. Yeah. And there will most definitely be downs just as much as there are ups. Yeah. You know? So I think that while you can believe in yourself, you're a human. You're going to have bad days, just like the person alongside you will probably have bad days as well. So I think that having that shorthand where it's like product entrepreneurs, product business owners. That's why I think our community is so beneficial, is because it's like you already speak the same language. You understand the very unique ups and downs, like, inventory being stuck in port, shipping costs going up, photos not turning out how you wanted them to be, a launch or a sales event not going how you imagine. Those are some downs, right?
Yeah.
And then you pick yourself back up with the help of yourself or other people, because you're like, hey, you know what? That person over there, success is never achieved without failures. It just isn't.
And I think if you are okay with that, and if you're like, I'm gonna fail, and it's gonna be okay, like allow that to happen. It's not a representation of you yourself, right?
Yeah.
So right. I think that's the thing, right? So it's like, identify the problem, find the person or the people to support you through these things, like to believe in you a little bit more than you believe in yourself until you believe in yourself. And then find the tools or the steps to take, right? Find the thing that's your guide, like your guide or your roadmap or the book. We all read books, right? We all went to school and like learned we went to college, like we learned these things, and find the thing that's going to be the thing that's going to give you the plan.
Yeah. The plan and the skill sets, I think.
Yeah. And then when you have that and you have the support, you're going to start to believe in yourself a little bit more. You're going to start to build that confidence. You're going to start to say like, oh, you know what? This actually might be possible. And you want other people around you that are talking about really big possibilities. They're out of the realm.
Might be possible. Absolutely. Yeah. 100% possible. It's like when we talk about lifting the lid off of other people.
Yeah.
It's because it often takes somebody else showing you potential.
Yeah.
It's hard to see it because you're a law of exposure. You only know the potential you know.
And that's why it's so important to surround yourself with people going in the same direction as you.
Yeah.
Right? That are people that are like, you know what? I have a product-based business. I want to grow this product-based business. I want to leave my full-time job. I want to retire my spouse. I want to buy a second home. I want to go on vacation. I want to just have a really cool business and sell things that I love to make. And be around those people, because those people are also dreaming of possibilities, and you never know who you're going to meet, interact with, a thought you're going to have, a person that's going to say something to you, like a tool that's going to come your way that's going to change and transform everything. So when we talk about what's stopping your success, we want you to start to think about, then what can I do now to actually make my success inevitable? And that's why we're glad you're here.
I will tell you, one of the most killer limiting beliefs is that, when we're talking about potential and, a lot of times, like I said, law of exposure, people don't understand potential or possibility because they only know what they know. And when you see somebody else have success, you're like, oh my gosh, it is possible, right? It lifts that lid off of it, or somebody says it to you or whatever it is. The biggest killer is saying it worked for them, but it won't work for me.
Oh yeah.
And that is if we could all remove that from our brains, that is just simply not true, that it's not available to you too.
Who are you to say, right? I like when you yell at yourself, like, who are you to say that it's not going to work for you? Well, yeah, maybe their exact way that they did it is not going to work for you, but there is a way that's going to work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I helped the artist, she was like, you talk about these people making money, selling hair clips. We have students that have done very well selling hair clips to kids.
Mm-hmm. I mean, among millions of other products.
But let's just, she's like, you said that wow, this person is making hundreds of thousands of dollars now with hair clips.
Yeah.
I could for sure sell my paintings. And I was like, yes. She just needed the lid lifted off of, and whatever reason, that specific example of one of our thousands of students that have done really well, that was the thing that triggered her, right? That was the thing that in her head, was like, oh, but I can do it too.
Yeah, it clicked in her brain.
It clicked. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that was the one that was like, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Probably because she sells, she sells her art, but she does greeting cards.
Yeah. But and she knows who she is, and thank you for inspiring multiple episodes these days for us. But that's, that's the thing that I want you to do. And that's when you're exposing yourself, and when I say exposing yourself, you're
putting yourself out
there, or you're listening to these podcasts, and you're listening to stories from our students, or you're in our challenges or sprints, or what, we show you proof it can be done, because each of these people that have done something different in their lives and have made a change and grown a business that's been super successful and made money from what they sell, There are examples, and each of you are going to see something else. But like Mina said, do not ever say it worked for them and it's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
Put a question mark behind that and say, it worked for them. How could this work for me?
Absolutely.
And stop with the it's not going to work for you stuff, because when you believe that, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah. Your thoughts are your reality.
Yes. We're in the matrix. No.
Right.
So anyway, leaving that with the fact that we believe in you. We want you to believe in you too. And we have proof, and we've got the tools, and we've got the systems, and we have all the things in the podcast, twice a week to continue to support you to your inevitable success. So thank you for showing up with us, and we will see you in the next show.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know, so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode, so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us.